I'm Dan Cook with BoneZone, and welcome to our webinar about advancing your approach to cementless knee design. Today's webinar is presented by Lincotech Medical, a global provider of full-solution medical device development and manufacturing. The company supports OEM customers through every stage of the device development and manufacturing process. Joining me today are three expert panelists from Lincotech. Marcus Reichman, Additive Manufacturing Sales Account Manager, supports OEMs in bringing new implants and instruments to market. Expertise spanning development strategy, regulatory pathways, and scalable manufacturing. Francesco Robati, Technology and Business Development Manager, has contributed to advancements in plasma spray coatings, PEEK coatings, and metal additive manufacturing. With strong regulatory expertise, he supports CE and FDA submissions and leads scientific marketing, project management, and global customer support. Nick Seymour, Plant Manager, recently integrated on-site machining and polishing operations to strengthen links between casting and finishing. His work has proven valuable for adding additive manufacturing and coating processes. Today, the speakers will share practical insights to support the development of next-generation cementless knee systems. And with that, I'll hand it over to Marcus.
Thanks, Dan. Before we get started, I also want to welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm excited to spend the next hour with you talking about the Lincotech value proposition, focusing on state-of-the-art manufacturing for knees. I will start giving you a quick overview of Lincotech before we dive into our various offerings for robust, reliable, and scalable knee supply chains. Later, Nick will talk about the one-stop shop solution for casted knee. Francesco is our expert for coatings. He will explain benefits of tie growth, but also talk about our latest development, our DLC coating. And in the end, I will give you a brief overview about the work we have done on the additive side and how we can support customers with a 3D printed knee solution. Lincotech is a global contract manufacturer with 11 sites distributed over Europe, China, and the US. Our offerings span from casting and forging to additive manufacturing, precision machining, a wide range of surface treatments and coatings, and last but not least, cleaning and packaging. While setting up these processes across various sites, we always try to use similar equipment and the same validation strategy to support customers with the same quality across all sites, but also facilitate multi-site production and implement contingency opportunities. We are aware that there are a lot of contract manufacturers out there. However, what truly sets us apart are the following 3 points. Number one is R&D. We're not just adopting technologies which are readily available. Instead, our R&D team is watching market trends to find solutions for tomorrow's challenges. One of the examples here is the recent patent for an innovative pedicle screw. Number two, we put a lot of effort into product development. Our team is able to support and complement R&D efforts of our customers to ensure a smooth submission and a speedy time to market. You might have seen the recent press release that Lincotech got 510K approval for SpineLink, a cervical cage, which is a Lincotech development that can be white labeled or referenced during your 510K. And third, of course, our strong end-to-end offerings, including additive, conventional machining, but also anodizing through Danco, where we can now offer HA Nano in collaboration with ProMimic. Overall, our goal is to be ahead of the curve, set new trends, and offer our customers innovative, cutting-edge solutions backed by data. Next one, exactly. So what are we trying to address today? In conversations with customers, we see the following trends. The industry is asking for durable biologic fixation to support long-term implant stability, especially as cementless knee adoptions continues to grow. The industry needs innovative coating solutions that improve wear resistance, reduce corrosion risk, and add support the performance of next-generation implant materials and designs. And last, the industry is looking for solutions that address material sensitivity concerns by reducing patient exposure to cobalt chrome while still maintaining the mechanical and topological performance required. And with that, I'm handing it over to Nick to talk about our casting solutions.
Thank you, Marcus. We step onto the next slide. So Linkotech have looked to introduce the true one-stop shop in terms of going from a casting through to a finished product all under one roof. But it also complements the coating and future sterilization and packaging that we can offer for the industry. In terms of the one-stop shop here, we focus on finishing of implants in terms of femorals, tibials, hips, and we also do instruments. We have two options. One is the static and for regular implants or typical implants, and then we also have a centrifugal casting for small intricate parts for extremities, etc. We can cast in two different types of material, mainly cobalt chrome and then stainless steels for the instrumentation. And we have the capacity for around about 300,000 castings per year from a production point of view. Over the last 3-4 years, we've expanded our capabilities. So we've added the finishing option here, but we've also added significant investments in automation to enable us to increase from a scalability point of view and to increase our output. We obviously look to produce in a cost-effective manner and with short lead times for the market, and as I said, scale up for potential demand, etc. We obviously have the design group. We work closely with those with that team, and we work closely with designers at OEMs and customers to do design for manufacturing, to make sure that we're working cohesively to produce the best product for the market at the best cost point. So one of the benefits, or a number of benefits for the one-stop shop, is the inventory reduction and the understanding that when you're at a one-stop shop, you can feed back through the whole process chain to make sure that you're hitting the best-in-class quality standards. There's a significant reduction in supply chain complexity and increased reliability with the quick, fast communication across the different groups within Linkotech itself. And as mentioned, we've added additional floor space plus new grinding machines, drag finishing operations in order to help us finish those casting work. And specific to cementless knees, key points or concerns. Cementless knee surgeries are growing in the industry, and based on a number of things. One, the risk of having cement in the body and how that interacts, but also the longer term loosening of the cement fixation is certainly a concern, especially as they look to use implants in younger patients. So with younger patients, they have a relatively healthier bone and bone growth potential, which is where the cementless knee is really a key offering. The challenges with a cementless knee comes with dimensional control. So obviously with the cementless knee, it needs to have more of an interference fit onto the bone as it's cut in from a geometric point of view. And with the introduction of robotics into surgeries, they're able now to have that bone geometry cuts to be more accurate, and therefore the control of the product in the AP box for the femur needs to be more accurate as well, and controlling that brings its challenges. It's important to understand in your process, and as we do, the movement, the degree of movement, and how to control that movement as it goes from what is a wax in terms of the casting process through to metal, and then through the finishing operations. And at Linkotech, we understand the movement and have processes that minimize that movement so that we can hit the tighter tolerances for the cementless knee project. The other challenge with it is the number of thermal cycles. Typically, with some types of porous coating, for example, that you can have degradation of the mechanical properties as they go through multiple thermal cycles during the lifetime of the production. I think that's my last slide. So thank you, and I'll hand over to Francesco.
Hello, everybody. So in the cementless applications, we have a few opportunities to provide solutions, so different manufacturing line and cycles. In one of these, we provide special plasma spray coatings to complement the metal components after casting. And in this, plasma spray is really a flexible technology that is able to deliver porous titaniums to complex geometries, just the need that the surface will be in the line of sight. In a modern and lean production process, plasma spray can be really cost effective to provide at the same time a very high friction surface with a good potential for osseointegration. So with the state-of-the-art of plasma spray technologies, it is possible to provide either cost competitive solution with air plasma spray for market where price pressures is really high, with a limited porosity and pore size. However, frictions, there is obviously the consistent vacuum plasma spray coatings that is able to provide a good porosity and moderate thickness. And actually, there is a special development that Linkotech put in place some years ago that is named Tigro, that is really providing a high porosity with at the same time a very large pore size and important thickness. All these features combined together are really suitable for the knee cementless. In this pictures, you see selective electron microscopy images. On the right, there is the APS, so the air plasma spray, with basically a solid compact surface with peaks, giving you the frictions that you need for primary fixations. But you need to go on the far left to see the porosity that is really opening up a little bit on the surface and enable the bone to enter. And with the center image is really Tigro with the same, let's say, a magnification. With the other two, you start to understand the pore size that is on a different scale, with few hundred of microns in both depth and width. Okay, and here you have different magnifications, and you have an opportunity to appreciate the size of the pores and the thickness of this type of coatings that can be used in the both femoral or tibial plate in the knee joints. In this experiment that was performed some years ago together with the University College in London, Tigro was applied on both the two different substrates that were titanium 6-4 and cobalt chrome. The Tigro applied was in the high thickness, 800 microns, and for control, air titanium plasma spray at 300 microns was also applied. The animal model was sheep, and the bone type where the implants were performed was trabecular in the femoral condylus. The follow-up in the immediate after surgery was good, and the histologies and mechanical fixation was checked after 4 and 8 weeks from surgery. The histologies that you can see on the bottom right is actually showing in violet the new bone formed in either a plasma spray or a Tigro. First of all, the the outcomes from these experiments was, and the sentence here comes from the university guys, confirm good biocompatibility and no delamination of the surface after 4 weeks. The new bone filled the interfacial zone around implants with new bone growing on pre-existing cortical bone and into the implant groove. So we see that especially in the Tigro pictures, that the bone is really able to form into the porosity. The thin select sections in the histologies were used to confirm that the cells were actually osteocytes, and the high density that we see is normal in a rapid growing remodeling phase. So bone ingrowth was observed in the Tigro plasma spray surface. In this picture, in this slides, I put with color coded to identify the different type of material tested. So the dark blue refers to Tigros on cobalt chrome. The light blue is for Tigro on titaniums, whereas the brown are for the APS. So what we see is that we have a good starting point at 4 weeks after implantation for both the cobalt chrome and titanium, with a prevalence of much faster reach of bone implant, higher bone implant contact for titaniums. This difference is going to disappear after 8 weeks, confirming the capability of Tigro either applied on cobalt chrome or to achieve similar results than when applied on titanium alloy. Next, please. The bone area colonization is really important. The color code is exactly the same as seen before. Here the point was to show that even starting with large pores, the bone is able to colonize far away from the surface into that large side pores. And these colonizations is higher at 4 weeks for titanium, for Tigro applied on titanium, whereas there are no statistical difference at 8 weeks. The push out here shows that the specimens reach 10 to 12 megapascal strength to extraction. That is actually the failure strength for the trabecular bone itself. No significant interface difference were found amongst the samples tested. And what was very important for all mechanical testing samples, regardless the time point, no damage or delaminations of the porous implants was observed by the team. So in conclusion, for this mechanical part, the key point is that regardless the high porosity, the pore size, and the thickness of the coatings, this type of coatings maintain the mechanical characteristic required for the FDA or MDR approval. And all the performances are in line with the state-of-the-art applicable standards. And here are a number of different combinations of the similar material in between the substrate and the coating itself, with the possibility to apply Tigro in high or low thickness on cobalt chrome, on different type of titanium alloyed with niobiums of vanadium, and eventually also on stainless steel substrate. This is much more for hip implants rather than knee, like double mobility caps. Tigro can also be delivered in combination with calcium phosphate in plasma spray format, so hydroxyapatite plasma spray, or in wet chemistry bioresorbable brushite to further stimulate bone remodeling in the early phase. Tigro has some advantage against beads coatings. Beads coating is a very popular solution for cementless knee, and it has demonstrated successful long-term applications since the 80s. Anyhow, the plasma spray Tigro has some advantages as opposite to beads. First of all, the application process through control-assisted plasma spray can be at low temperature, so it has a minor impact on the fatigue strength of the substrate when compared to beads coatings. So the heat at which the substrate is exposed is much lower. Coatings cohesion can be lower for bead coatings when compared to the plasma spray coatings, because it relies on the necking of the point of contact in between spheres. And the caps coatings has a tremendous advantage when it comes to the point to have adhesions on dissimilar materials. So when we definitely apply the Tigro coating, the titanium coatings on cobalt chromes. Whereas with beads, very often it relies in apply cobalt chrome beads. So with some limitation regarding the osseointegration. So potentially further coatings like hydroxyapatite is needed on the cobalt chrome beads. So it's much straightforward to go through the titanium plasma spray coating directly on cobalt chrome. Also, the beads coatings offer lower frictions with primary for primary fixations, with the highly rough Tigro coatings. And is also less flexible, the beads applications. For example, if you need a feathered thickness and different portion of the components, this is really hard to get with bead coating, whereas is really possible with the plasma spray technologies. So in conclusions, for what related to the coating for knee components, the clinical advantage for high porous and thick coatings like Tigro is you can rely on a long-term application with a consolidated 20 years applications. The higher roughness that this type of surface provides is suitable for primary fixations. The compression-driven osseointegrations is suitable for secondary fixation, and the porous structures is suitable, as we have seen, for fast and long-lasting bone growth and bone-on growth. Production advantages relies on the reduced time to market because the basically one-stop shop with the casting and coatings and the fast productions lead time, considering the possibility to provide the full service solutions from casting to machining to coating to the final cleaning and packaging. The technology is flexible, so it can quickly apply the porous titaniums to complex geometries and apply dissimilar material. So titanium coating on cobalt chrome, and the price can be competitive. And now I leave the floor to Marcus again.
Okay, thanks, Francesco. Let's talk about additive a little bit. So where is the added value of additive in all this? Porous structures support cementless fixation by promoting bone growth and long-term implant stability. Lattice-based designs can improve initial stability by creating stronger mechanical interlock at the bone implant interface. Additive manufacturing enables design freedom to optimize porous zones, fixation features, and load transfer in ways conventional machining cannot. 3D printing accelerates development cycles by enabling faster design changes, prototyping, and iteration without reworking traditional tooling routes. And of course, last but not least, advanced coatings can expand material options by combining cementless fixation with improved wear performance. At Linkotech, we are addressing our customer needs with what we call additive plus. I said it during the intro already. There are many companies out there that can print great parts. However, there is hardly a part that can be printed or cleaned properly based on the first design draft, or that has the differentiating factor you are looking for to set you apart from your competition. We are listening to your needs and addressing them with a completely integrated end-to-end development submission and supply chain. It starts with developing your part, including the knowledge we have in the post-processing, coding, cleaning, or packaging. Our team will help you develop a unique part design that meets your requirements, but we also develop a robust, lean, and easy-to-scale supply chain for you. I think we've all been there. Development projects with multiple suppliers, complex supply chains, long lead times, and overall a lack of ownership if something goes wrong. At Linkotech, we are integrating AM as a central technology to manufacture state-of-the-art medical devices. However, we realize how important post-processing capabilities are, not only to streamline your supply chain, but also to develop and define a robust flow where your supplier understands all process steps and engineers can sit together in one room on a daily basis if needed to discuss process-specific needs and solve problems in real time. Linkotech has a proven track record in supporting our customers worldwide. We printed and processed over 130,000 parts last year. We currently have over 25 additive production machines running Ti 6.4 and 17.4. And we also do have the capability to support customers in cobalt chrome as well. So far, we have developed and supported over 50 FDA and CE clearances. Before we get a little bit more technical, let's recap real quick. So Additive Plus is our offering to increase speed to market, facilitate scalability, optimize your supply chain, support you with the best regulatory service, help you in getting ready to market products in your hands as quickly as possible, and help you fill gaps in your current portfolio with our own developments. The next thing I want to highlight is our proprietary bone pore porous structure. Developing a lattice structure for a new product is often the most time-consuming part during development, and cleaning validations will eat up a lot of money and time. So with bone pore, we developed a range of a porous structure that allows you to still fine-tune the lattice structure to your specific needs while staying under the umbrella of the submitted master file. This means you can have your unique porous structure while still accessing and referencing our validation test data. Important to highlight is that the manufacturing process for bone pore has been validated across our sites in the US and Europe, ensuring consistency regardless of geography. And perhaps most impactful for you, it helps our customers reduce time to market by up to 10 months by eliminating the need to recharacterize lattice structures and start from scratch with surface testing. From a quality and regulatory standpoint, bone pore is more than just a porous structure. It's a fully pre-characterized and performance-validated solution that supports both osseointegration and mechanical stability. To support this, we've established a master access file with the FDA, which is an important regulatory tool that enables you as our customer to leverage pre-existing validation data. This means you don't have to start from scratch when submitting a 510K or CE file. The regulatory burden will be significantly reduced. Specifically, our master file includes design, mechanical validation, lattice characterization, and post-processing. It's been validated for TIE 6.4 and complies with ASTM and ISO standards. As mentioned, if a customer wants to bring their own lattice design to the market, we also support that path. We have a testing infrastructure and lab capabilities either internally or via qualified vendors to generate the necessary validation data. From a technical standpoint, bone pore isn't just a one-size-fits-all lattice. It has been deliberately engineered and validated across two distinct porosity configurations. The first one is in a range of 50% porosity with a pore size of 0.2 to 0.6 millimeter. And the second one, the upper limit, is in a range of 70% porosity with a pore size of 0.6 to 1 millimeter. These specific ranges were not chosen arbitrarily. They are a result of mechanical testing, trace element and composition analysis, particle size distributions, and biochem testing in the end. With that, I would like to once more hand it over to Francesco, and he will explain how DLC integrates into our Additive Plus value proposition and adds value to your medical device.
Thanks you again, Marcus. So, as before said, mechanical and osseointegrative performances required by the first-fit knee joint components can be well addressed by titanium additive manufacturing, and especially with bone pore structures. So the next step to really complete the offer is to provide a surface that will be state-of-the-art or what related to the wear resistance. The polished side of the as-is titanium additive manufactured components is a surface that can be absolutely smooth, however low in the hardness if compared to cobalt chrome or ceramic materials. And a surface that exhibits lower hardness and lower value of hardness may result in a surface that is more susceptible for scratching. Accelerated or increased wear may result as a consequence of scratches in the articulating surface. Lincotech approach to tackle these issues is DLC. DLC is an acronym that stands for diamond-like carbon. That is a thin and hard coatings made of carbon with a specific microstructures, crystalline amorphous, that exhibit at the hands performances similar to the natural diamond.
I think we can leave it there. Thank you, Marcus, Francesco, and Nick, for the great presentation and discussion. We appreciate you sharing your perspective and expertise. And I also want to thank the attendees. Hope you took away some valuable and insightful information. And with that, I hope everyone has a great day.